Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with our next series in the quarterfinals of the round of 8. The quarterfinals of the round of 8. Sorry. The next series in the quarterfinals of the IOPS OSL. Look, it's dark outside, by the way. That's kind of interesting. So if you guys, let me go back and finish the first thought. But remember, it's dark outside for the second thought. IOPS OSL played in the beginning of 2005, early 2005. But it is dark outside because it's interesting. We saw it at the beginning of game 1 of Yellow versus Nada, I believe. It was light outside, but this was actually played in the same day. I'm casting them as a series. Each quarterfinal has its own series, just to make it a little bit easier and a little bit more, I don't know, just makes more sense to me that way. But technically, they actually all played. The game 1s of all 4 quarterfinals were all on the same day, and then games 2 and 3 were on different day. So this is like later in the day of the same beginning of the series. Anyway, it doesn't matter that much. We got a nice ZVT. Z, T, P, and V all are letters that rhyme. It makes it just sound nice whenever you're talking about the matchups. ZVP, PVZ, TVP. Just sounds good, right? We got GoRush, a premier Zerg player of the 2004-05 era, up in the top left-hand corner of the map. And he's going to be, and you can see actually that he's actually only played DoGGi once in 2003, but he lost that game on the stats on the bottom there showing there. DoGGi's going to be the Terran player at the right side of the map, approximately 3 o'clock. Yeah, a little north of 3 o'clock, maybe you call it 253. You know, might even go so far as to say 255. We'll round up to 3. We'll just call it 3 for now. Anyway, so DoGGi surprising us in the round of 16, playing very well, having kind of an aggressive style, being very bold, and managing to just outplay some of the veterans in his group, who you kind of would have expected to win on name recognition at the very least. So this is the map Alchemist, by the way, and this is the one that I talked about before, where there's 3 spawn locations, and that's why we see GoRush sent the scouting drone down to the south spot first, and now he's going to come back around the back of DoGGi's base right now, because it's a circle. The map is a circle, so there's a short distance route to your opponent's base, and then there's a long distance route through the third spawn to the opponent's base. And there's different kinds of terrain in between them on each one. I won't explain this every single time, but just in case you missed it in the first series, the terrain you can see right there. There was a ramp down to the natural, the Zerg's natural, and we just saw that SV standing next to a ramp going up, and then there's a ramp down again and a ramp up again into the Terran main, as you're going from left to right. And we're seeing a very fast factory go down, by the way, for DoGGi. That's kind of interesting. The long way around the back involves bridges kind of in the bottom right vicinity of the map, and then on the whole left side of the map, it's just small choke points, but it's all flat. So it's very interesting to see how the different spawn positions can actually very much change the dynamic of the game. We saw that in Nada versus Yellow on this map. It was very, very important where the spawns were. The ramps played a very important role between them, and the bridges as well. So it's kind of cool to see how that works. Anyway, let's see if this factory turns into mech play, or if it's just a quick vulture to do some harassment. He's going to get a second barracks afterwards, or, you know, could be some sort of an early push. Don't expect it to be an early push. Probably would have gotten the second barracks earlier, I imagine, if he was going to try and pump out a lot of Marines and go for a quick push. And the fact that he's gone down to just a single SCV on gas also indicates to me not going to be mech play. Would definitely be mining lots of gas if he was going to be trying to switch up into tanks or Goliaths or something like that. So this is just a quick factory to get a vulture out, since vultures are very, very strong against all the early Zerg units. They're good against lings. They can micro against lings and drones. Good for picking off drones as well. So the Sunken Colony is going to have to go down in response to that. He's actually putting out a second vulture as well. And this vulture is going to come right up on the colony, which hasn't even finished morphing into a colony yet. The drones are going to have to turn and flee. And he's actually going to leave his Zerglings behind as well, because I take it back. I take it back. I was going to say it would be smart to wait, but he's actually going to go in with 4 Zerglings. Now there's, well, he's killed a couple of them. There were 6, and now there's 4. The Sunken Colony is finished. So that is a threat to those vultures, but it's at half health. Actually, like a third health. He took a lot of damage as he was, as it was morphing and building. So that Sunken Colony could easily go down pretty quickly, but with the reinforcement Zerglings though, I think GoRush is going to be safe. But the thing is like he's safe, but he's spent a lot of money on these Zerglings and the Sunken Colony. Oh, the Vulture actually goes down. That's a little bit of a misplay there, and actually he's pinned himself in a corner, and GoRush is just going to go ahead and assault these forces. What was DoGGi thinking there? Why did he put his troops in a spot where they could be cornered? I mean, I guess he was, he was obviously trying to stay out of range of the Sunken Colony, but like the main point of Vultures versus Zerg is they can micro. They never get hit by slow Zerglings because they can micro back and take shots and then fire it and run away. And if you put them in a corner where they can't do that, they die, which is what we just saw. So now, DoGGi's in a little bit of trouble. He's been continuing to put out vultures, and so he's going to be able to kill off these Zerglings. But look at this, Zerglings coming around the back way as well. GoRush attacking from both directions. DoGGi did, upon forcing that Sunken Colony, he used that advantage to buy some time to make an expansion base down here, kind of behind his base on this low ground here. And he's actually going to transfer SCVs over here before clearing up the Zerglings. Might lose a couple SCVs as a result, but his forces do come in here. He's going to be able to get those vultures in and pick off those Zerglings. So no real damage done to that, but and he was able to hold the ramp over here at the side as well. Nicely done. But these Zerglings are going to get in. The speed upgrade is finished. He's going to be able to get those Marines if he wants them, but it looks like he was going for the vultures instead. The Spire is finished as well. I didn't have a moment to mention that, although we did see it on screen, that, oh my gosh, apparently it's cold outside in the winter in Korea. Who would have known? I would have known, actually. I remember, well, hold that thought. I'll talk about winter in Korea later because we got an attack coming in here. GoRush coming in, trying to go for the kill, knowing he's picked off a lot of forces. He's picked off Marines when they cornered themselves. He picked off Marines on the ramp. He's going in to try and do some major damage here with these Mutalisks as well as the Zerglings. And he's actually going to get over here and he's going to pick off. No, he doesn't quite finish this. Oh, both SCVs able to complete those turrets. That is actually a huge deal. If he'd picked off the SCV building the turret, he would have had free reign to then start killing the rest of the SCVs, or at least for a while, until he could get more SCVs onto those turrets. But now he's dodged back into the main as well, killing off Marines as they pop out. The turrets are not quite in the best spot to protect those barracks, and so he can actually just take pot shots and kill the Marines as they spawn from the barracks. So GoRush doing a lot of damage, even sending in some Zerglings as well to do additional damage. Dodges back over to the natural expansion to get some hits on the SCVs, but there are 2 or 3 turrets within range, so he's going to be forced back from that. And more Zerglings coming out and not microed by DoGGi. So the vultures, I should say, are not microed by DoGGi, so he's actually going to lose one to those Zerglings. This game is getting a little bit scrappy. Both players are maybe being a little distracted by the action going on around the map in different spots, the back route, the inside of the base, the ramps as well. Lots of different small zones of battle to contend with, to think about, to send forces to. That is one of the things that we've seen makes this map very interesting, is the fact that you have to concentrate on a few different locations at once, especially when air units are a factor. Like we saw that with the game with Nada versus Yellow. There was lots of different fronts all around the map, and you had to kind of try and go back and forth between each one. Now, Nada was able to do that efficiently. He was able to effectively switch back and forth between the threats that Yellow was putting out. Can DoGGi do the same thing? And that Nada was able to. You know, it's a hard challenge to live up to the abilities of Nada in this day and age that we're watching right now here in 2005. So we'll see if he can pull it off. But he is so far holding off pretty well. He's got a significant force in his main, and I believe he had some. Well, actually, where have they gone? It looks like they might have tried to push out. Yeah, they tried to push up north to block the ramp. The Mitas come back into the main and say, nope, can't get away with ignoring this facet of your base. Now, this is interesting. We have, I mean, this is basically what, you know, Mutalisks often their job is to harass long enough to get the tech up. And then the Terra needs to stay in their base long enough to get irradiates or enough forces that they can actually move out and effectively deal with the Mutalisks. Now, oftentimes you do see, I would say especially in the modern day, you know, Terran players will just say, well I'm going to ignore the Mutalisks and I'm going to push out anyway. And they're going to be forced to fall back with their mutas unless they have enough defenses, right? And so that's the kind of the offense as defense strategy that you can go with as well. But mainly, you know, the Zergs they're going to want to use the Mutalisk harassment to buy time to get their other tech and economy up, and that's exactly what GoRush has done. He's gotten the third base down. He's got it mining gas now. He's got the Hydralisk Den. Lurker tech is probably nearly finished if it hasn't already. And he has the Queen's Nest as well. So we haven't seen his base in a minute, but the Hive might be a quarter finished by now, trying to go up to that higher tech. So we'll see if that works. And you know, the higher tech is definitely, you need 3 bases to do. Oh, nice little block there. Making sure he can stop any advancements by putting those lurkers on the ramp. And then the lurkers can burrow on the ramp, and they're a really effective spot as well. No, don't look at us. Sorry, I turned into a young Korean woman for a second there. It never ceases to amuse me, the shyness on camera. It's not just women. Sometimes guys are like that as well on the camera. And look at this. Actually, GoRush has managed to get lurkers up the main ramp. DoGGi was so busy defending his main that he forgot to defend his ramp, and there's now lurkers in his main right now. And they don't have a lot to protect them, but DoGGi has some turrets there at the very least. Does he have a scanner? I'm not sure. They don't have a lot to protect him, but if he goes in to attack the lurkers, the Mutalisk can come in from the side. I think that's what he's doing. He's waiting. He doesn't want to engage both at once, but he's forced to. And he comes in onto the lurkers. The Mutalisk coming from the side, and the lurkers are absolutely slaughtering the bio as the bio engages with the Mutalisks. There's Wraiths out now, but I think that might be too late, though. I mean, Cloaked Wraiths can be an effective defense against the Mutalisks, but oh, did he just scan and not even attack? I think he did. He just scanned. He wasted a scan. Didn't even go in to attack those lurkers. Maybe he was planning on going in with the Wraiths. And he just scanned again. And again, a scan wasted. No. Okay, he took 2 shots with 1 shot each with a Wraith before the scan wore off. But he's just losing all kinds of. DoGGi is in so much trouble right now. This is actually a little ridiculous. He does have that natural expansion, pretty well defended, but we've got lurkers in your main and you just can't even get attacks off. Look at this. He keeps scanning, taking like 2 steps towards the lurkers, and then backing off. And now the Wraiths are going to come in. The Wraiths are going to clear the mutas. If he has any scans left, he can now use the bio and the Wraiths to clear out the lurkers. But it doesn't matter. Look at this. He's coming in from the other side now with a nice clump of lurkers. Lifts it. Can he burrow in time to get the SCVs? No, the SCVs are going to escape, but it doesn't matter. He's going to kill so much stuff. Right now, DoGGi is not mining a single thing. He's finally going to clear out those lurkers, but his natural is being obliterated at the same time that he's barely finally defending his main. Wraiths, you know what? They're really good at being able to fly in the air. Zerglings can't attack them. Lurkers can't attack them. So they're, you know, a kind of a nice counter in that sense, but they're so slow to kill things on the ground. They just have so little damage with their little lasers compared to the amount that they cost that they just can't clear this up. He's going to be forced to fight with the bio, but I don't know if he has any scans left. Oh, he's going after the science facility. The science facility is being wrecked, and it looks like he is going to get it burning. Can he repair it in time? I don't know if he can repair it. It's hard. We don't know what the hit points is, but it's probably got about 100 hit points left. He might be able to save it. The Lings are all dead now. Finally, the Wraiths do slowly and steadily pick them off. There's Hydralisks in play now as well, by the way. We've seen a few different spawns of Hydralisks moving out on the map. They might just be turning into more lurkers, but he may actually be getting the Hydralisks to defend against the Wraiths as well, of course. And if he loses those Wraiths, he just hasn't been able to build up enough bio to deal with anything here. And in fact, he may just... He can probably just A-move Hydras, actually. Oh, well, losing those lurkers is not the best. I was thinking with a couple lurkers in there, he could A-move the Hydras. I don't think he quite can anymore. I think the bio would be too strong. the Terran bio, I should say, would be too strong right now. But just the damage has been dealt. I think the damage has been dealt. GoRush not on a ton of drones, but he still has 3 bases. He's got 3 gas going. I like the addition of the Spore Colony just to make sure that he's a little bit safe against these wraiths, because those wraiths are pretty dangerous now. He's got enough wraiths. He could go in and annihilate a drone line. And right now, GoRush is actually fighting on very few drones. So, DoGGi, if he got some counter damage onto the drone line of GoRush, the drone lines of GoRush, I should say, if those wraiths took, you know, 20 seconds each at each base, GoRush would be out of money, and then DoGGi actually might be able to get back into this game. We'll see if that happens, though, because there are so many lurkers. He's got the Hydralisk there to defend against the wraiths. He's got the Overlord there to defend against the cloak. He's got the lurkers there to defend against the bio, and he's moving them in slowly and steadily. The bio takes a poke in and are forced back again by the mass amount of lurkers. There's a lot of lurkers there for this this stage of the battle. Oh, the wraith goes down, and yeah, he's just leapfrogging the lurkers with the wraiths to back them up. And the lurkers are actually, I'm sorry, the Hydras are actually going down, but there's the GG. It's just lost too much bio, wasn't able to fend that off. And GoRush just outplaying DoGGi there, you know, just playing the back and forth game, using the Metalist to great advantage, going back and forth between the ramp, the main, the natural expansion, and they're just really far away, you know. It's a lot of maps, the natural, the main, and the ramp are all in a line, and they're all near each other, so you can kind of like use the same force to try and defend both, right? But in this case, was not able to do so because they were kind of spaced apart. So again, the map kind of playing a factor here in the win of GoRush this time. So Zerg takes the game in this occasion. But that is just game 1. We're going to go on to game 2 and possibly game number 3 after this. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks very much for watching. GG.